It was supposed to be just another glamorous night in Istanbul, music, lights, and laughter filling the air. Yaman had returned home, and to celebrate, his closest friends had organized a private gathering in his honor. The guest list was exclusive, filled with actors, directors, and producers. But no one expected the surprise guest that would send social media into a frenzy. Because among the crowd, someone unexpected appeared. Demet Özdemir. The moment she walked in, whispers began to spread through the room. Cameras weren't allowed, but of course, in today's world, nothing stays private for long. Within hours, blurry photos leaked online, showing Demet standing near the entrance, wearing a simple yet elegant black outfit, smiling politely as Can approached her. That one image was enough to set the entire internet on fire. Was this just coincidence? Or had something much deeper just begun again? For years, fans have followed the complicated history between Yaman and Demet Özdemir. They met on the set of Turkish, where their chemistry was undeniable, so powerful, in fact, that it blurred the line between fiction and reality. What started as a professional relationship quickly became one of Turkey's most talked about love stories. But fame, rumors, and distance pulled them apart. Both moved on, or at least, that's what everyone believed. Yet when Demet appeared at Can's private party, everything changed. According to eyewitnesses, the moment Can saw her, his expression completely shifted. He froze for a few seconds, visibly stunned, before walking toward her with a soft smile. Those who were present said the atmosphere in the room immediately changed, like time had stopped. The two exchanged a few words, and although no one could hear what they said, their body language told a story of its own. She looked nervous at first, one guest said. But then he said something that made her laugh. And after that, everything seemed natural between them. Like old friends who knew each other better than anyone else. But were they just old friends? Or was this the spark of something that never really died? Sources close to both actors claim that Demet's appearance wasn't entirely accidental. Apparently, one of Can's mutual friends reached out to her days before the event, letting her know he was back in Istanbul and that this small gathering was happening. Demet reportedly hesitated at first, unsure of how Can would react. But eventually, curiosity, or maybe emotion, won. And when she arrived, it was as if no time had passed. After the first few photos leaked, Twitter and Instagram exploded. Hashtags like #CanDemetReunion and #LoveBackOn trended worldwide. Fans began analyzing every detail, their outfits, their smiles, even the angle of their bodies in the photos. One fan commented, "The way they looked at each other, you can't fake that." Another wrote, "I knew this would happen. You can't hide real love forever." Of course, neither Can nor Demet made any official statement. Both remained silent, allowing speculation to grow wild. But silence, as always, speaks louder than words. People close to Can say that he's been in a more reflective state lately, quieter, calmer, focused on meaningful things rather than fame. His return to Turkey wasn't just for work, it was a personal choice to reconnect with what mattered most to him. He's been through a lot in Italy, a close friend shared. He wanted to come back home, to slow down. And maybe, deep down, he wanted to close some emotional chapters, or reopen them. And maybe Demet was part of that. The chemistry between them has always been magnetic. Even years after Turkish, whenever they were mentioned in the same sentence, fans felt a spark. Their on-screen love story had ended, but their names always seemed to find their way back to each other in interviews, articles, and fan discussions. When Demet was asked about Can months ago, she smiled softly and said, "We shared a very special period in our lives. I will always wish him the best." But her eyes, according to fans, told a different story. And now, her unexpected presence at his celebration seems to confirm what everyone secretly hoped for, that the feelings never truly disappeared. As the night went on, witnesses say the two spent much of the evening in conversation. They weren't hiding, but they also weren't putting on a show. It felt natural, said another attendee. They laughed, they talked, and at one point, they were sitting side by side, just quietly watching the crowd. It didn't feel staged at all, it felt real. By midnight, most guests had left. Can reportedly walked Demet to her car before returning inside. One guest swears they saw them hug goodbye, a long, emotional hug that didn't look like something between distant acquaintances. By morning, news outlets had turned the story into the biggest headline of the week. Demet Özdemir and Yaman reunite at private party, splashed across entertainment pages. Reporters began calling their managers, seeking confirmation. Neither side denied it. Instead, they simply said, it was a private event among friends. That vague answer only fueled the fire. Fans started making comparisons between their past interviews, analyzing quotes for hidden meanings. They noted how, in his last Italian interview, Ken said, "Sometimes, the person who understands you best isn't the one you meet later, it's the one who knew you before everything changed." Many believe he was talking about Demet. Even in Italy, the news spread like wildfire. Italian fans, who have followed Can's career closely, began sharing old clips of her Kensi cuss, reminding everyone how their love story started. "Maybe the universe wanted them to meet again," one fan wrote. Sometimes love waits quietly until the right time. Meanwhile, Demet has been busy with her projects, but those who know her say she's been more introspective lately. One of her close friends reportedly said, she's been thinking about the past a lot recently. Seeing Ken again brought back emotions she didn't expect. The media tried to get photos of them together again, but since that night, they haven't been seen publicly. Still, some believe they've been in touch privately. Both live in Istanbul now, and insiders say it's only a matter of time before they're spotted again. What makes this story so captivating isn't just the idea of two stars reuniting, it's the emotional history behind it. Can and Demet weren't just co-stars, they were a phenomenon. They built something that fans around the world felt emotionally connected to. Their story wasn't just written in scripts, it was written in their eyes, their smiles, and their silences. And now, seeing them in the same room again after years apart feels like destiny playing one more trick. Of course, not everyone believes it's romance. Some insist it was simply a mature gesture, two people reconnecting without any emotional baggage. But if that were true, would the room have gone quiet the moment they locked eyes? Would fans still be analyzing every frame of that leaked photo? Deep down, most people believe that something about Can and Demet was never completely over. Too much emotion, too much chemistry, too many coincidences. Even when they were on different continents, interviews and stories about one of them somehow always mentioned the other. It's as if fate kept their names intertwined. Now, as both of them stand at a new chapter in their lives, older, wiser, and perhaps less afraid, the possibility of reconnection feels more real than ever. Maybe it's not about rekindling the exact same romance, but about finding peace in what once was. Or maybe, it's about starting again, this time without fear, pressure, or fame standing in the way. As one fan perfectly commented under a viral post, "If they find their way back to each other, it won't be a coincidence. It'll be the universe correcting its mistake." For now, the world watches and waits. Neither Yaman nor Demet Özdemir has spoken publicly since that night. No photos, no statements, just silence. But sometimes, silence says everything. And if love truly has a way of finding its way back, then maybe, just maybe, this isn't the end of their story. It's the beginning of a new one.